Good day, and welcome to your weekly meditation. Today, we are going to go into a little bit of loving kindness. If you don't know what that is, just close your eyes and come along for the ride, and I'll guide you through. We're going to take an upright posture. A teacher I take online talks about sitting with dignity, if that resonates with you. Or he says sitting in a dignified way, is what he says. So if that resonates with you, sit in a dignified way. And just take a few moments before we go into the loving kindness, just checking into your body, finding out where you're at this moment. And remember that when someone says body, whether they mean it or not, that encompasses an awful lot of things. That encompasses muscles and ligaments and tendons and bones, lymphatic fluid, right? So there's the physical, the physiological aspect. Where's your energy at today? Do you have any emotions, any wills, instincts that are coming up, feelings? Attitudes? Maybe also just checking into, you don't have to be done with that other stuff by any means, but also checking into the mind, letting that be part of it. Just noticing if it's focused, unfocused, single, centered on one thing, all over the place, etc. And, always trying not to pass judgment on anything that we discover, just simply exploring in wonder. And then we're going to start our loving kindness today with ourselves. And so we're going to start simply. As you start to breathe in, every time you inhale, I want you to imagine that you're breathing in any suffering. Now, that can be a particular thing that you're working with at the moment, or that can be just in general, any suffering that you have. And maybe saying, may I be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. Every inhale, may I be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. And then continue doing that on the inhale, and consider on the exhale, adding in, may I have happiness and the causes of happiness. So I'll repeat that every time you inhale, maybe saying to yourself, may I be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And every exhale, may I have happiness and the causes of happiness. And then we'll shift slightly. Think of someone in your life whom you love or at least like, right? Someone whom you have a good relationship with. And imagine them. And we'll say the same things, but we'll just switch it slightly. Now, when you inhale, imagining that person, may you be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And when you exhale, may you have happiness and the causes of happiness. And this is geared towards that one individual. And adding on to that, if there's a particular thing that that person is suffering with, whether that be going through a divorce or a medical condition, right? Losing their job, it could be anything. But if there's a particular thing that that person you love is suffering with, I want you to imagine that now we bring in everybody else in the whole world who is suffering from that same thing. I'll use the example of a divorce, right? We bring in every human who is going through or maybe has gone through a divorce and suffers from that. And so every time you inhale, imagining that whole group of people, you can say, may you be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And as you exhale, may you have happiness and the causes of happiness. And you'll continue to do that for a bit. And then maybe expand that out if you're not uncomfortable and if it feels okay. And now think of all beings everywhere. And you can include yourself in that. And now maybe it becomes that on every inhale, you say, may all beings everywhere be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings everywhere be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. And adding in, if and when you're ready, on the exhale, may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. If that feels like too much, you can stay with that smaller group or go to that person you love, whatever you're comfortable with this morning or this day. And we're going to shift again and change our meditation slightly. and bring a visualization into it. And again, if you're not comfortable with these stages we go through, just step back a stage or two and find the place where you are comfortable. But when you focused on yourself, may I be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. If there's something in particular that you're suffering with, I want you to imagine that suffering as a dark, almost like a cloud or material, right, outside of you. And that when you inhale that suffering in. And don't be too afraid of that, because in this visualization, we bring it in from all sides right into our heart center. And this heart of ours has this amazing ability to transform that dark suffering energy so that every time we exhale, it's been transformed and we exhale out relief and ease and peace. So I'll repeat that again. That was a lot. If it's okay, every time you inhale, I want you to imagine that you're inhaling your suffering in the form of a dark cloud or viscous material, something like that, whatever your visualization brings you. Inhale it into your heart from all sides. The heart transforms it. And when you exhale, imagine that you are exhaling out peace and ease and relief to yourself. If it causes you anxiety, again, go back to a stage that felt like it was working for you. But these hearts of ours are pretty powerful, especially since we get to visualize how powerful they are. So we're transforming the suffering into ease and relief. And that person whom you have a positive relationship, whom you thought of, whatever it is that they're suffering with, maybe imagining that you can inhale that suffering from all directions, wherever they are, doesn't matter, into your heart. The heart immediately transforms it, and you can exhale back out to your loved one, relief and peace and ease. And I didn't say it, but that peace, that relief, that ease, it's a much lighter, brighter energy, right? So if you want to add that to your visualization, like white or white golden light leaving you, going into them, it moves freely and easily. And then maybe moving that out to the group of anybody who is suffering from the same things your loved one is suffering from. Maybe you feel like you can, in this visualization, right? Maybe you feel like you can breathe in that dark, heavy suffering of that whole group of people or beings and transform that suffering and have this beautiful light energy move out of you and into all of them in the form of peace and ease and relief. And the last stage we'll do today is all beings everywhere. Imagining you take in the suffering of all of the humans, it's true, but all of the plants and the animals, Mama Gaia herself, right? Those of us who love the stars, even the suffering happening anywhere out in the cosmos. Imagine, if you will, that your heart center was so strong that you could believe in that heavy, dense, dark energy, that suffering, and your heart could transform it. And you can send out to the entire universe this beautiful light, relief, and ease and peace. And let go of that visualization. We're going to move to one more piece, and that is imagine a bright golden sun directly above your head. That bright white golden sun releases rays down in through the crown of your head, filling you up from the crown of your head to the tips of your from the tips of your toes to the crown of the head, all the way up, 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 even fountaining out of you into the area around you, about an arm's distance in front, behind, to the sides, above and below. And you have this beautiful cocoon or force field, or whatever you want to think it is, of this beautiful white, golden light, this nurturing, restoring, rejuvenative energy filling you up. Let's bring our hands almost together in front of our heart. What do I mean by that? Bring them as close as you can without touching. You don't have to look at them or anything. And if they touch, it's okay. Just pull them apart a little bit. Not a big deal. See if you can't get a felt sense of the energy moving between your palms right now. We do have energy that comes out from our skin, right? Doesn't come out from our skin, I should say that better. It is on the outside of our body, our electromagnetic field. So our hands are very receptive to, the nerve endings are very receptive to touch. So we might be able to sense that energy here. Bring those palms all the way together to touch. Inhale. Exhale, bow your head in, taking a moment of gratitude that you gave yourself the space and the time. Namaste, friends. And may you have a blessed day.